Hey, it's Ryan with SMB. Today we're going to be installing our 83-2019 boot kit. This is going to fit all of the LBZ and LMM Duramaxes, so 06 to 2010 trucks. 06 is a split year. It's going to fit the 06 LBZ trucks. In the kit, you're going to come with 4 new boots. This is going to be hot and cold side. All new spring-loaded stainless steel T-bolt clamps here. And it's going to be pretty straightforward install. We've got the intake out of the vehicle. We'll show you. We have an intake install video that shows how to remove that. Once you get the intake out, it's pretty easy to access these boots. We're going to be using an 11mm all the way around on the OE clamps as well as our new clamps. So we'll get going right now on ripping out the OE boots. We're going to start with the cold side boot or hot side boot on the turbo right here. So we're going to get our 11mm and get on this. And then move over to the turbo side. So next we're going to remove the boot from the turbo, pull it outwards, and then remove the boot from the pipe. May not have loosened this one enough, so we'll come back in here. Make sure we have plenty of, there we go. And our factory boot is out. So we're gonna get one of our smaller hump hoses here. There's an internal bead on the inside of this hose. That's gonna go towards the pipe and it's gonna index into the bead on the pipe. So you'll see, slide this in here behind. It will kind of click into place. Right there. I just felt the bead seat. Then on the turbo side, press this under, over, and we're on. Spin our clamp around, make sure it's not hitting anything on this AC line. It's gonna come around this way. So this will be ready to tighten down. I'm gonna not torque this yet, and I'm gonna do the lower side next, just so we have a little more free play with this in case we need to move the pipe a little bit to get it out. So we'll move down to the bottom driver's side next. So on the bottom of the driver's side charge pipe here is the hot side pipe. There's gonna be 2 clamps. One on this truck is pointing straight up, right here next to the radiator. So I'm gonna come down with some extensions. And then the other one is kind of in no man's land, so I'm going to snake my ratchet down here and see if I can't get on it. You may have to pull your fender liner, or it may be coming from the bottom, depending on who worked on the truck last and where they put this thing. So I'm going to work on getting on that right now, and we'll get this thing out of the truck. So we're underneath, and it's a little tricky to get to it, so I am going to pull a little bit of the fender liner back, and to do so, I'm just going to remove this one push rivet. There's the clamp. And we're just going to try to get over the top of said clamp here. So that clamp's out of there, as you can see now. So we'll go up to the top of the truck and come down with some extensions to get this intercooler side boot off right here. With the clamps loose, we can pull this off both sides of the charge pipe here. And it looks like the clamp stayed on the pipe on the upper side. So the longer leg has the logo on this one, is going to go towards the pipe. So to do this, I've got my clamps pre-installed, they're all loose. I think I have them in the right spot where I'm going to be able to get on them a little easier than they were from factory. So I'm pointing the pipe side one down, and then I'm pointing the intercooler side one towards the center of the truck. So we'll go in here. So with that on the pipe now, we can spin it around a little bit, like so. Get it started. Intercooler here. So I've got to push all the way up to the bead on the pipe. So we now know we're pretty much seated. We'll twist a little bit more to get our angle right, and then start working our way onto the intercooler itself. So I got it over. We'll slide it all the way down to where the last hose was, and then start working on positioning our clamps. So for this upper clamp, I'm going to try to slide it over the bead. It's a little tall, I may have to take the nut off, slide it over the bead, then restart the nut. And then for the lower clamp, I ended up taking it all the way off to get it off there. But I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the clamp over the hose like so, the same way it was from stock, and facing straight up, so it's real easy to get on it with an extension. I gotta fit. Perfect. Go right there. Come on. There it goes. So we actually have clearance to get on this one from the bottom, which is better, and make it a little easier to torque it without having to use all those extensions. So we'll start tightening these up. And then we'll come back and torque that with the torque wrench. And then for the next one, same process. Get that torqued. We'll come back with the torque wrench and get that one too. And so I'm just gonna reach around and feel that beads on the other side all the way around, and then same beads on the back side of the clamp all the way around here. We're not rubbing anything, so we'll jump up to the top and then tighten the ones down on the top next. And process up here. We're going to push the pipe into place all the way and get on this one. And we will go ahead and press in that clip again. The fender's good to go. Next, we're going to move to the cold side. On the passenger side here, remove the clip off this plastic piece. And that one's completely loose now. And then there's a clamp down below, right here, that we'll get next. And this one, I think we're gonna need to take a wrench onto. So this is the clip on the quick connect on the bottom of the driver's side cold pipe. We're gonna come in here and just pop this out, like so. So I've got the quick connect clip coming out here. This is the upper. We'll set this aside. And then we're gonna wiggle on this and pop it off. Throttle valve here. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the lower and pop that clip out. Just to give us some more room to work, we'll remove the same pusher that we removed on the other side. Pop that clip out. And then remove it. All right, now we should be able to remove that pipe from the top. So next, we're gonna rebuild the cold side pipe here. And we're gonna do this on the table, and I'm gonna remember how this boot was installed, because I know there's clearance if I do it that way. So I'm gonna pre-tighten the one of these on the table right here. so that it still fits. And I loosened this one in the truck, which let me get it out a little bit easier. And so I'm just gonna take a pick, work my way around here now. This thing's seized on pretty good, so. And just like that, it should come off. And I'd recommend at this point, take a little brake clean and a towel and try to get all the oil off these sealing surfaces where the boot's gonna go, just gonna help it clamp better. And then you can see all the crap that came off. I already cleaned this a fair amount, but take a towel as well and just clean out the inside of this and make sure you're not sucking all this dirt right into your engine when you fire it back up. So there's an O-ring on the inside of this too. We'll wipe it all down a little bit and then probably blow this out before we go back into the truck. Just given how much dirt and grime came with it here when we pulled it out. So we'll clean up our table. This is the quick connect clip that was on the this bottom side here. So we will get this reinstalled. Make sure we have our spacing right. Bottom should be this one. So that's back in now, and then we can start on our hose. So maybe loosen this up a little bit more. Just take it apart. Press this in. We'll reassemble our clamp. Get that right where we want it. Which is on this side of the bead. And I remember when I had it in the truck, just gonna point this way, it was spun behind. So we'll take it back off one more time. Spin it around, it's gonna go like so. And then we'll work it back into position here, which is perfect. Looks really good. Reinstall our spring. And then get our nut started. Our clamp's in a good spot. And so I'm gonna go mock this up. I'm gonna tighten it a few turns first. So with that a few turns tight, I'm gonna go mock this up in the truck now and make sure it's gonna fit and not collide with any hoses. And so I'm gonna have plenty of room once that goes down. So we got the, make sure one more time. Yeah, so it's gonna be about right there. We should be good to go. So we'll go ahead and pre-torque this down on the bench so we don't have to do it in the truck. So I've got this torqued to 75 inch-pounds. Then the next step will be to put this in the truck. So I'm gonna click this in first and then bring my clamp in and then bring in my upper. We can go ahead and pre-assemble the upper too now and get our clip back installed here, which is gonna be this way. looks good. So bring our assembly back over to the truck. Step one, we click our intercooler side back in. And you'll feel it when it clicks. You can try to wiggle it back off, it won't wiggle, and that means it's clicked in. And then we're gonna bring our engine side back in here. And push it up. Clicks in. Now, we're gonna rotate this up a little bit, slide this over, get them started, like so. And I'm just gonna spin this around until it clicks in. I'm just going to grab a little screwdriver here to help convince it, which it is now. We'll finish spinning this around, and we are perfectly in place now. Okay. Now, so that wraps up the install, hot and cold side of our intercooler boots on this truck. Should be good to go for a ton of miles to come. Keep this old LBZ on the road. You're gonna fit all the LBZ and LMM trucks. So give us a call if you have any questions. Thank you.